Hi, welcome to this Corbettmaths video. In this video, we're going to go through the video solutions to the cost per litre practice questions. If you need any extra help on cost per litre, if you go to corbettmaths.com/contents and you scroll down to video number 400L, there's a video tutorial there on working out how to do questions with cost per litre involved. Alternatively, you scan this QR code. But in this video, we're going to go through the video solutions to the practice questions, so let's get started. So question number 1. Olive oil costs £5.20 per litre and Heather buys 4 litres of olive oil. Work out the total cost of the olive oil. So it costs £5.20 per litre and she buys 4 litres. So if we do £5.20 times 4, that'll tell us the cost of the 4 litres of olive oil. So let's do £5.20, so £5.20 multiplied by 4. And it's a non-calculator question, so let's line up our decimal points and put that beneath. 4 times 0 is 0, 4 times 2 is 8, and 4 times 5 is 20. So the cost of the olive oil would be £20.80, and that's it. Okay, question number 2. Okay, let's have a look at question number 2. So question number 2 says, Maya buys 24 litres of petrol and the petrol costs £1.65 per litre. Work out the total cost of the petrol. So each litre costs £1.65 and Maya buys 24 litres. So that's 24 lots of £1.65. So if we do £1.65 multiplied by 24, that'll tell us the price of the petrol that she bought. So and it's a calculator question, so £1.65 multiplied by 24 equals £39.60. So the petrol costs £39.60. And that's it. Okay, let's have a look at question number 3. Okay, let's have a look at question number 3. So question number 3 says, Ultai buys 500 litres of heating oil and the heating oil costs 60p per litre. So each litre costs 60p. Work out the total cost of the heating oil. Now this is a non-calculator question and we need to work out 500 times 60 because each litre costs 60p. So we're going to do 500 lots of 60p. So we're going to do 500 multiplied by 60p. Now I'm going to work in pence here. I'm going to do 5 times 6 first of all, so that's 30. And then I'm going to add on 1, 2, 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3 zeros. So the heating oil would cost 30,000 pence, but I'm going to change this into pounds. So I'm going to divide by 100. So that would be, taking away 2 zeros, it would be £300. So the answer would be £300. And that's it. So the heating oil costs £300. Okay, let's have a look at our next question. Question number 4. So question number 4 says, diesel costs £1.59 per litre and Laurie buys £30 of diesel. So she's buying £30 of diesel and the question says, how many litres of diesel does she buy? Give your answer to 2 decimal places. So she's spending £30 on diesel and each litre costs £1.59. So if we divide how much money she spends by how much each litre costs, that'll tell us how many litres she buys. So if we do £30 divided by £1.59, that would tell us how many litres of diesel she buys. So we do 30 divided by 1.59, that's equal to 18.867924 and so on litres. Now in this question, we've been asked to give our answer to 2 decimal places. So that's going to be 18.8, and then we've got 6 7, so it's going to round up to 7. So it's going to be 18.87 litres to 2 decimal places, So Laurie buys 18.87 litres of diesel. Okay, let's have a look at our next question. Okay, let's have a look at our next question. So our next question says a 75 milliliter bottle of perfume costs £60. So a bottle of perfume costs £60 and we've been asked to work out a cost of a litre of the perfume or cost per litre of the perfume. So how much would it cost for a litre? Now remember that 1 litre is equal to 1,000 millilitres. So that's 1,000 millilitres. Now we know a 75 milliliter bottle costs £60. So we want to find the cost per litre, which is 1,000 millilitres. Now there's different ways we could do this question. We could divide both of these by 75 to find the cost of 1 millilitre. And if we find the cost of 1 millilitre, we can then times by 1,000 to find the cost of 1,000 millilitres, which is 1 litre. Now this is a non-calculator question, so I don't really want to divide 60 by 75 if I can avoid it. So what I'm actually going to do in this question is I'm going to find the cost of 25 millilitres. I'm going to divide by 3. And if I divide by 3, that would tell me the cost of 25 millilitres. And if I divide by 3, 60 divided by 3 is equal to £20. So that means that 25 millilitres would be equal to £20. Now, I want to find the cost of 1,000, but I'm actually now going to multiply by 4. If I multiply by 4, that will tell me the cost of 100 millilitres. So 4 25 is 100, so 4 times 25 is 100. So if we do £20 multiplied by 4, that's equal to £80, and that's 100 millilitres. Now, we want to find the cost of 1,000 millilitres, so we now just need to multiply by 10. So times by 10 and times by 10. And if we do 100 times 10, that's 1,000 millilitres. And that would be equal to 80 times 10 would be £800. So that means that 1,000 millilitres or 1 litre of the perfume would cost £800. And in this question, what I done was I started off with 75 millilitres and knew the price. I divided by 3 to find the cost of 25 millilitres, and then times by 4 to find the cost of 100 millilitres, and then times by 10. There's different ways you could have done this question. We could have found 1 millilitre and then times by 1,000 to get the cost of 1,000 millilitres. But obviously you would have needed to do some division, but dividing 60 by 75. Another way you could have done it would be to work out the cost of 10 bottles of perfume, which is 750 millilitres, and then sort of work your way up and find the cost of it that way. It's up to you. Okay, let's have a look at our next question. Okay, question number 6. So question number 6 says, Thomas hires a car while on holiday. So Thomas is on holiday and he hires a car. The car costs £80 per day and he's charged £2.05 for each litre of petrol that he uses. And he hires the car for 4 days and he uses 36 litres of petrol. Work out how much the car costs Thomas to hire. So he hired the car for 4 days and it costs £80 per day. So we're going to do 4 times £80 to begin with, because it says £80 per day and he hires it for 4 days. So 4 times 8, that's a calculator question, so that would be 320, or you could do 4 times 8 is equal to 32 and add the zeros, so that's £320. So it costs £320 to begin with, but then he uses 36 litres of petrol and each litre costs him £2.05. So we need to do 36 lots of £2.05, and that will tell us how much it costs for the petrol. So if we do 36 multiplied by 2.05, that's equal to £73.80. And then if we add together the £320 and the £73.80, that will be the total cost of hiring the car. So plus 320 equals £393.80. So the total cost of hiring the car was £393.80. Okay, let's have a look at question number 7. So question number 7 says, Anya is buying heating oil and her oil tank can hold 1,200 litres of heating oil. The tank is 30% full. Anya orders enough heating oil to fill the tank, so she's going to fill the tank. The heating oil costs 74p per litre. Work out the cost of filling the tank. So first of all, her tank holds up to 1,200 litres of heating oil and the tank is 30% full. So let's work out how much oil's in the tank to begin with. So let's work out 30% of 1,200. So it's a calculator question, so let's take our 1,200 and divide it by 100. That'll tell us 1%, that's equal to 12. And then if we take our 12 and multiply it by 30, we can find 30%. So 12 times 30 would be equal to 360 litres. So at the minute, there's 360 litres in the tank. And she orders some oil and she's going to fill it. So let's work out how many litres of oil will go into the tank. So we're going to take the 1,200, take away 360, and that tells how many more litres of heating oil will go into the tank. So 1,200 take away 360 is equal to 840 litres. So that's how many litres of heating oil are going to go into the tank. The heating oil costs 74p per litre. So we're going to work out the cost of 840 litres. So we need to do 840 times 74p. So 840 multiplied by 74p. And that's equal to £621.60. Okay, let's have a look at our next question. Okay, let's have a look at question number 8. So question number 8 says, Ellie drives her car to visit her patients. So she drives her car to visit her patients and her car travels 8 miles per litre of petrol used. So for every single litre of petrol, her car can travel 8 miles. And she paid £1.58 per litre for the petrol. And this month, Ellie has driven 420 miles visiting her patients. Work out how much the petrol costs to drive 420 miles. So Ellie's driven 420 miles and for every 8 miles it uses 1 litre of petrol. So if we divide 420 by 8, that would tell us how many litres of petrol she needs. So if we do 420 divided by 8, that's equal to 52.5, so 52.5 litres. So that means that Ellie has used 52.5 litres of petrol. And we can check our answer. If we multiply the 52.5 litres by 8, that'll tell us how many miles that she would have driven, and that would be 420. So Ellie used 52.5 litres, and every litre of petrol costs £1.58. So if we multiply 52.5 by £1.58, that would tell us how much the petrol cost. So if we do 52.5 multiplied by £1.58, that's equal to £82.95. So that means the petrol cost £82.95. That's how much Ellie spent on petrol this month. Okay, let's look at part B. So part B says, Ellie's paid 45p per mile by her employer to cover the cost of the petrol and car repairs. How much money is left for car repairs? So for every single mile that Ellie drives, her employer gives her 45p. So let's go up and see how many miles she drove. So she drove 420 miles. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply 420 by 45p, because that tells us how much money she gets from her employer. For every single mile, she's given 45p. So 420 multiplied by 45 is equal to 18,900 pence, or we can change that into pounds by dividing by 100, so that would be £189. So her employer gives her £189, and that's to cover the cost of the petrol, so the £82.95, and also for car repairs, perhaps to cover if she gets a flat tire or she needs her car service and so on. So if the question says how much money is left for car repairs, so if we take the £189 that her employer gives her and take away the money that she spends on petrol, which is £82.95, what's left is for car repairs. So 189 subtract £82.95 is equal to £106 and 5 pence. So that means that there's £106 and 5 pence for car repairs, and that's it. Okay, let's have a look at our next question. Okay, let's have a look at question number 9. So question number 9 says, a car fuel tank can hold 16 gallons of diesel. So there's a fuel tank in a car and it holds 16 gallons of diesel. And the empty tank is filled with diesel that costs 154.9 pence per litre. And 1 litre equals 0.22 gallons. And we're asked to work out how much it would cost to fill the tank with diesel. Give your answers to the nearest penny. Now, if we have a look here, the diesel costs 154.9 pence per litre. So if we can work out how many litres will go into this fuel tank, then we can just multiply it by 154.9, and that would tell us the cost of the diesel. Now, the car fuel tank holds 16 gallons, and every 0.22 gallons is a litre. So if we divide the 16 gallons by 0.22, so if we see how many 0.22s go into 16, that'll tell us how many litres the car fuel tank holds. So if we do 16 divided by 0.22, that's equal to 72.7272 and so on litres. So this fuel tank will hold 72.7272 recurring litres. Now, it's going to be filled with diesel that costs 154.9 pence per litre. So if we take our 72.72 and so on litres and we multiply that by 154.9 pence, because that's the cost of each litre, that'll tell us how much it'll cost to fill this tank with diesel. So if we take our 72.72 recurring and multiply that by 154.9, that's equal to 11,265.4545 and so on pence. Now that's in pence. Let's convert it into pounds by dividing by 100. So let's divide by 100, and that's equal to 112.65454454 and so on pounds. But let's round that. Let's round it to the nearest penny, because the question says to round to the nearest penny. So the answer would be £112 and 65 pence, and that's it. So the answer is £112 and 65 pence. Okay, let's have a look at question number 10. Okay, let's have a look at question number 10. So question number 10 says, orange juice costs £1.60 per litre and lemonade costs 90p per litre. And the orange juice and the lemonade are going to be mixed together in the ratio 1:4 to make a fizzy orange drink. So if you mix pure orange juice together with lemonade, it makes a fizzy orange drink. And it's mixed in the ratio 1:4. So for every 1 part orange juice, we put in 4 parts lemonade. So in other words, we're putting in 4 times as much lemonade as we are orange juice to make this fizzy drink. And the question says, work out the cost of making 12 litres of the fizzy orange drink. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work out how many litres of orange juice we need. I'm going to work out how many litres of lemonade we need, and then we can then multiply those by the cost of each litre for those, and then add that together to get the grand total cost for the fizzy orange drink. So let's look at this. We've got 12 litres of fizzy orange, and we've mixed together the orange juice and the lemonade in the ratio 1:4. So if we do 1 plus 4, that's equal to 5 parts in total. And if we take our 12 litres and divide it by 5, we can see how many litres are in 1 part. So 12 divided by 5 is equal to 2.4. So there's 2.4 litres in 1 part. So we then take our 2.4 and we multiply it by the orange juice number in the ratio, which is 1. So multiply by 1 is equal to 2.4 litres of orange juice. And in terms of the lemonade, well, we're going to take our 2.4 and we're going to multiply it by the lemonade number in the ratio, which is 4 parts of lemonade. So we multiply by 4, and that's equal to 9.6. So it's 9.6 litres of lemonade. 9.6 litres of lemonade. Now, we've been asked to work out the cost of making this 12 litres of fizzy orange drink. So we need to work out the cost of the 2.4 litres of orange juice. We need to work out the cost of the 9.6 litres of lemonade and add that together, and that will give us the cost of the 12 litres of fizzy orange drink. So let's start off with the orange juice. So orange juice. We use 2.4 litres of orange juice. So we're going to take our 2.4 and we're going to multiply by £1.60, because each litre costs £1.60 and we've got 2.4 of them. So 2.4 multiplied by £1.60, and that's equal to £3.84p. So it costs £3.84p for the orange juice. Now let's look at the lemonade. In terms of the lemonade, well, there's 9.6 litres of lemonade, and each litre of lemonade costs 90p, so we're going to multiply that by 90p. And if we multiply 9.6 litres by 90p, that will tell us the cost of the lemonade, and that's equal to £8.64. So the cost of the orange juice is £3.84, and the cost of the lemonade is £8.64. And if we add them together, that will be the cost of the 12 litres of fizzy orange drink. So let's add them together. £3.84 plus £8.64 is equal to £12.48. So the cost of 12 litres of the fizzy orange drink is £12.48, and that's it. So how much does the fizzy orange drink cost? £12.48. Okay, let's have a look at our last question. So question number 11 says, each day that Jacob works, he drives to his office and back. So he travels to his office, he does his work, and then he drives back again. And Jacob lives 18 miles from the office, and he works 20 days in June. And given that his car travels 48.2 miles for each gallon of fuel used, and that the fuel costs £1.70 per litre, and that 1 gallon is equal to 4.55 litres, work out the cost of fuel used in June, give your answer to the nearest penny. Okay, so there's a lot of information there. Let's start off by working out how far Jacob travels in total. So he drives to work and back, and he lives 18 miles away. So that means he travels 18 miles in the morning to get to work, and he travels 18 miles back. So he does 18 plus 18 is equal to 36 miles a day. So every day that he works, he travels 36 miles. And he works 20 days in June. Obviously, he doesn't maybe travel to work on weekends or different days, but he works 20 days in total. So we're going to take our 36 miles and we're going to multiply by 20, and that's equal to 720 miles. So in June, traveling to work and back again, he travels a grand total of 720 miles. Now, given that his car travels 48.2 miles for each gallon of fuel used, so actually, if we look at it, his car travels 720 miles. And for every gallon of fuel, the car will go 48.2 miles. So if we divide the 720 by 48.2, that would tell us how many gallons of fuel he'd need. So if we take our 720 and we divide it by 48.2, that would tell us how many gallons of fuel he's used. So 720 divided by 48.2 is equal to 14.937759 and so on gallons. So that's how many gallons of fuel he's used. Now each gallon is 4.55 litres. So if we multiply the number of gallons used by 4.55, that'll tell us how many litres he's used, because whenever we buy litres, typically in the UK, we buy it in litres. So if we take our 14.937759 and so on, I've just left it on my calculator display, and multiply by 4.55, that will convert the gallons into litres. So we multiply by 4.55 is equal to 67.96680 and so on litres. So that means he's used 67.9668 and so on litres with his travelling in June. Now we're told that each litre of fuel costs £1.70. So if we take our 67.9668 and so on, and we multiply that by £1.70, that would tell us the cost of fuel. So if we multiply that by £1.70, that's equal to £115 and 54p to the nearest penny, because it then goes 543, and we've been asked to round our answer to the nearest penny, so whenever we round our 543 to the nearest penny, it'll be 54. So that means the cost of the fuel that he's used in June is £115 and 54p, and that's it. So these have been the video solutions to the cost per litre practice questions. I really hope you found this video useful. If you do need any extra help on cost per litre, if you go to video 400L on Corbettmaths, that'll be the video tutorial on cost per litre. But I really hope you found these video solutions useful. If you have found these useful, please like the video, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, and thanks so much. Cheers. Bye.